a human rights activist, um, and I asked our speakers to consider the time. Thank you. Thank you so much, and hello to all the audience. In accordance with the international law and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has equal rights regardless of color, ethnicity, religion, social class, property, etc. And they must enjoy equal rights even at the same time. One of these civil rights is participation in the administration of the state through government offices. The Islamic Republic of Iran, after coming to power in 1978, after a few months, wrote the constitution draft, and in which the people were divided, obviously, in different groups. In the Iranian constitution, Article 112, which refers to the Shiite as the official religion in the country, and the other religions like the Sunnis and the Jews and Christians and Zarathustrians are being recognized, and they should have their rights. According to the constitution, only those can be president or the leader who are Shiites and believe in Velayat Faqih. But for other governmental offices, there is no limit in the constitution. But with all these, during many years, there are numerous discriminatory practices in all of the fields. One of these discriminations is not allowing the followers of other religions to enter the administration of the state in governmental offices. The Sunnis in Iran are the second religious population, with making at least 30% of the Iranian society, and have been discriminated all the time, and are not being involved in, and are being limited even in governing their own cities and provinces. Like, for example, in Sunnite provinces, they use Shiite governors. But in the recent years, in some regions, we have had a better situation. But always in different elections, the candidates talk about the rights of the Sunnis and try to get their vote. And each time they have succeeded in the elections by attracting the votes of the Sunnis. The Sunnis have demanded the president to have a minister in the cabinet, but it has been always ignored in the past decades. For example, in the recent election in which Hassan Rouhani was elected, he received the most votes from the Sunnite community, but after the election, even those who came from this community, like Maulavi Abdul Hamid, who are considered to be religious scholars and who were widely involved in the election campaign, were not invited for the inauguration. And in the end, he didn't use any Sunnite person in his cabinet, and just misused them before the elections and deceived them. And in this direction, we saw that to make the Sunnis silent through pressure on religious prisoners and or even sentencing them to death. This policy of putting pressure on Sunnis have been exercised since the beginning of the Islamic Republic, and it has been always a pressure on them. And during the recent day, we have been witnessing the arrest of many civil and conscious activists, religious activists in different Sunni cities for different reasons. The Islamic Republic, in contrary to the international law, has always put pressure on other religions and has tried to make them silent. Unfortunately, this thought comes from the ideological vision of the government in Iran, and it reaches beyond the Iranian borders, like the other countries like Syria, Iraq, Bahrain, Yemen, and many African countries. And this has caused insecurity and chaos in the region, which has put a lot of pressure on the Iranian people too. And on the other side, there is a possibility that this war will come inside the Iranian borders. In the recent days, Major General Qasem Soleimani, the commander of the Quds force, said that in the future we will see religious wars inside Iran. And it seems that the Iranian government is looking for its in following its previous policies to overcome the situation, is trying to make crisis inside Iran to be able to do a massive crackdown on the people.